some important things that she needs to have in her diet. That is include a lot of fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, lean proteins, some healthy fats.
Hi guys, this is Mini Divan and you're watching TheHealthSite.com. Today we have with us Dr. Shimi Sundaran, MD Biochemistry, Head Research and Development and Academic Cell. Hi Dr. Shimi, how are you?
Hello everyone.
Hi guys, so on the occasion of Women's Day, there's so much to celebrate about women, but there's also so much to talk about. And today, the subject of concern here are the things to keep in mind during the 9 months of pregnancy. It's a beautiful process, but it's also tedious. It also takes a toll on women's mental health, physical health. There's so much that goes into the process. So it's really important to understand what all things are needed, or perhaps what all things are required that one should keep in mind for a healthy pregnancy. So let's begin with the fact that, let's begin from the beginning perhaps, and let's throw some light on the fact, what are the things to keep in mind during the first trimester?
Yes, Mary. So, as you said, yes, pregnancy is a beautiful experience, and especially in the first trimester, it gets really overwhelming, especially if the female is expecting for the first time. So, it is really important that as soon as the woman realizes that she is pregnant, she needs to consult a doctor, and the doctor would examine, and there is a list of tests that needs to be done. There is this group of tests which is really important in the first visit, which includes the hemoglobin levels and the blood grouping, Rh typing, routine screen for infections like hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV infection, VDRL for syphilis, abnormal screening for hemoglobinopathies, and the random blood sugar levels for screening for diabetes, and the routine urine examination. So all these tests are really important because it sort of forms a base to the doctor so that he understands what is like the current health status of the expecting women.
Yeah, that's true. Also, having said that, is there anything else that one should keep in mind when a woman transitions from the first trimester to perhaps second trimester and third trimester? Are there any different things to keep in mind as the time and the weeks progress?
Yes. So there is another very important test that which we need to do. That is I would say the end of the first trimester or the beginning of the second trimester. So the ideal time of doing that is between 11 to 13 weeks. So there is a first trimester screening test, which is also known as the first trimester combined test. Okay, here what we do is that there is the blood that is taken from the mother, and it is tested for two important substances. That's why this test is also known as a dual marker. So there is this two substance, pregnancy associated plasma protein A and HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin hormone. So these two substances in the maternal blood, and there is also an ultrasound taken during the same time to look out for an important marker, that is a nuchal translucency in the fetus. So there is a software risk analyzed based on the maternal age and based on the results from the blood test and the result from the ultrasound scan. So based on this based on this analysis, a software risk is calculated, which will give us whether it's a low risk or a high risk for certain chromosomal abnormalities that may be present in the baby. Like the most common is being the Down syndrome, which is trisomy 21, and the others we have is the trisomy 18 and trisomy 13. So it is important that these prenatal tests are done in the pregnancy so as to identify the babies with these conditions.
And apart from the prenatal test, once woman is perhaps finishing the third trimester and very close to the delivery, is there anything else that's different or perhaps anything special that has to be kept in mind?
Yes. So as the pregnancy advances, as against the first trimester, the second trimester is comparatively much easier. I would say it's the most enjoyable phase in the pregnancy when the woman is more comfortable, because the unpleasant symptoms that she normally gets in the first trimester, like morning sickness or increased tiredness, so these symptoms start fading away in the second trimester. And once pregnancy starts progressing towards third trimester, again, the uncomfort level starts increasing. There is this buildup of anxiety, and because of the increase in the size of the baby and the changing in the position, it becomes really uncomfortable for the pregnant woman towards the last trimester. And as more it goes towards the her due date.
Also, having said that, when we talk about taking care of oneself, I think diet and exercise, perhaps fitness, everything in amalgamation is of utmost importance. So, during the entire pregnancy, are there any specific exercises or diet tips that you would recommend for the pregnant woman?
Okay, so talking about diet, definitely a healthy diet is what is expected in the pregnancy, but definitely it gets a little difficult to adhere to that healthy diet because of all the food cravings and the aversions that the pregnant women, may end up having during her pregnancy. But there are some important things that she needs to have in her diet. That is include a lot of fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, lean proteins, some healthy fats. So, and there are some supplementations also which are given during pregnancy, so as to ensure that there is no deficiency. So, the most important nutrient that needs to be supplemented during pregnancy is folic acid. So folic acid supplementation is started as soon as the pregnancy is confirmed, or even before, once the female, plans for a pregnancy. So 400 micrograms per day is the folic acid that is supplemented, and this is important because deficiency of folic acid leads to neural tube defects in the baby. So that's a very, and as per studies, it's like as common as 1 in 1,000 babies getting neural tube defects if there is no folic acid supplementation. The next supplement that would be given would be calcium and vitamin D supplements. So calcium is important for the strong bones of the mother and the baby. So this would be also started in the later half of the second pregnancy. An important thing would be the protein levels. So protein is important for the development of the baby. So it is important to include a lot of protein in the diet. So good sources of protein would include egg, pulses, seeds, legumes, poultry, fish, milk. So these are the important sources of protein that one should include in the diet so that there is no protein deficiency.
I think this has been very, very insightful, Doctor. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And once again, a very happy Women's Day.
Same to you. Happy Women's Day.